up, beautiful souls? It's Dr. Lee here, and I'm actually super excited to invite you to what for me has been the safest, most consistent, most powerful way to connect with your multi-dimensional self in a safe retreat setting. I'm telling you guys, the ceremonies are getting more and more powerful. People are being liberated. Souls are starting to remember who they are. Families are being healed. And this is one of my greatest joys to offer this to whoever feels called. It's a sacred contract that I call the Heart Protocol. It's a 4 to 6 hour ceremonial experience in a retreat setting where you can connect to your higher self and you can record it into a recording if you decide to speak, and bring back a multi-dimensional soul transcript which can help catalyze you onto a higher timeline, into a higher frequency, and ultimately a higher destiny. For those who feel the call, check out www.transcendencementalhealth.com and click Begin Your Journey to schedule a free 15-minute call to see if you are a good fit for the Heart Protocol. Unite an army of love, create heaven on earth. If you feel the call, would love to see you at an upcoming retreat. Peace. What's up, beautiful souls? Welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Psychiatrist podcast. We are excited because we're upgrading our podcast starting in the new year, January 1st. We're going to have some exciting guests and transmissions coming through. So excited for that. Today, I wanted to dive right in. So let's set the frequency. By the love of original eternal source, we are. By the truth of original eternal source, we stand. By the power of original eternal source, we fly. By the way of original eternal source, go I. By the grace of original eternal source, consciousness field, I now sanctify and renew this podcast episode for the liberation of all sentient beings on all dimensions and all timelines, only for the highest good, joy, and abundance for each and every ear and heart and mind that might be listening. We ask and request only for the highest good, joy, and abundance in this lifetime and the one to come. Thy kingdom, queendom is coming now. Thy will is now being done. This podcast episode, as it is in the highest heavens. Taish and Tadoe, Taish and Tadoe, Taish and Tadoe, spoken as it is stated, so it is done. Rasha Ira Christ out. Surround us now. All right, beautiful souls. So the podcast title today is coming from some of my personal experiences, the science of ascension. I know I've already spoke upon this, but I want to take this a step deeper. Recently, I was in a yoga class, and in my journey so far, I get to meet a lot of different versions of source. And oftentimes, not oftentimes, but sometimes I get to meet, embodied spiritual masters. And it's funny how each spiritual master decides to be born for such a time as this, important inflection point in humanity's history. A lot of us might feel it. This is the lifetime we waited for. Witches, crusades, witch hunts, Albigensian crusades, a lot of this stuff, a lot of us have been through, and we had to martyr in the past, but this is not this one. We're on a return cycle to source, higher oscillation in trains, lower vibration. And so I had the privilege on Thanksgiving Day to go to a yoga class in Tampa, Kodawari Studios. And, I took a class from beautiful, powerful, unique sister. Shout out Annette. I never met her before. And there was like 50 people packed into this hot yoga studio. And, the topic for today is the science of ascension. And as she was speaking that class, the voice is a reflection of the soul. So I was noticing as I was listening, because, when I'm in a hot yoga class, I'm just like in a zone where I'm listening and flowing with the instruction coming from the teacher if my higher self has already deduced that, hey, this teacher has mastery and I can learn from this person. So I was in that zone and I was moving and flowing, and her voice started shifting and she started to speak. And one personality was this Indian guru, head bob and everything, right? And then another one was this ghetto gangsta. Another kind of sub-personality of hers was this really firmly devotional, loving connection to source, what Jesus called the Father. And another version of her was, this funny, sexual, triggering version of her personality. And so as I was sitting there, the voice is a reflection of the soul. That's why in the heart protocol ceremonies that I facilitate, oftentimes when people go into and connect with their soul, the soul has sometimes a different voice, a different sound, right? And so I was listening as she would shift through all these different personalities and teach what to me was probably one of the most fascinating, I don't like the word best, but amazing yoga classes that I've ever been in. Complete mastery in her delivery, and every single personality had a part and was included and integrated through the power of love. And because of that firm intention, which has been rooted and integrated into the power of love, she could make crude sexual jokes in a yoga class, but because it was so rooted in love, that it wouldn't, people understood that there was a frequency where it was coming from love and wanting the other person, the other, I love it on you, love it on me, love it on we, like through the power of outrageous love, right? It was intended to, yes, trigger the shit out of people on purpose, because we need to trigger the shit out of each other. Because if I'm triggered, it is my trigger, and I get to lovingly, compassionately, powerfully look at that trigger within me and go to the root cause of that little boy or that little girl who didn't receive the love that they needed in the way that they wanted as a little child. And 7 to 11 generations of trauma, when that sperm and that egg hit, were passed on through the DNA. This is why Holocaust survivors oftentimes pass on that DNA. And this is why also in a recent ceremony that I facilitated, we're healing Christ timeline DNA. We're healing Knights Templar DNA. We're healing Genghis Khan DNA. We're healing all of these past timelines because it's passed on from the ancestors into our DNA, and we are the ones the ancestors have prayed for. And this is the lifetime for many of us that we have prepared for. And so as I was in this yoga class, and she had integrated all aspects of herself, and she had integrated it so much so that not only did it not trigger her, she was able to give the transmission in a way that was funny. That crude sexual thing that as kids we were programmed with sin, she was delivering and transmitting that it's okay. Not only is it okay, it's funny, while completely maintaining integrity to the transmission of wanting each and every single person to feel so comfortable in their physical body through the power of movement, breath, and sound, that because the physical is just the physical, but it's like so that they feel so comfortable in their body that the soul can shine through. The higher self can have the space and the safety that it needs to be. And it was a fascinating class for me, and hopefully I'll have her on the podcast here soon. As she transmitted, through these 12 different sub-personalities, the transmission of the soul was coming through clearly, so centered and rooted and grounded in love, that even though it might be triggering people, they were glad and grateful. And even though the yoga class physically might have been hard or demanding, no problem, because it was so rooted and grounded in love and safety, which had been established before the class. And also there's this thing, it's not about cuddling. She wasn't cuddling. Oh, love said, just be nice. Just be nice. No, there's an autonomy, a co-creatorship where if I know that I need the time and space where I have to decide in the safe environment when and how to take the time and space to go into child's pose, to rest and relax, to find my breath again, to utilize the tools that I've had in this lifetime and the past ones, to utilize to find my center, to find that still point, to find 0 point where I'm completely in trust of source, because I spent those mornings as Jesus did on the mountain, praying and understanding the character of source. And I've so integrated so deeply that I am this source, and nothing, neither it's in the Bible, right? Angels or demons can separate me from this love that is found in the eternal perpetual source, Chris, which I am that I am. And because I've integrated that, I utilize my tools to get out of the D3 mental body and all of my stories. Don't be a bitch. Look at it. If it's triggered, good. Thank you for this opportunity, lesson, blessing, and opportunity to learn more about source and to find my center and to heal the root cause of these 7 to 11 generations of trauma. Thank you. I am chosen to do this. I am worthy to do this. I have the power to do this. Don't be a bitch. Don't go unconscious. Stay conscious. And look at it. In the cave we fear is the treasure we seek. And take the time and the space when you need it. And gather the tools. Everything we need is within us. And so as I was going through this yoga class, whoa, like everything she was speaking, these crude sexual jokes, like, literally like direct, funny. But at the same time, like if there was a trigger in that class from all generations in all of society, she was hitting all of them. 50 people crammed into this one yoga studio. And I was grateful on Thanksgiving Day to be in this class. And I had this sense of gratitude. Thank you for triggering me. I wasn't like deeply triggered because I've done a lot of work, but it was like, oh, yeah, there's that little nervous system pinch again. Cool. Let me breathe into that. Let me feel that. What we reveal, we feel, we heal. And for such a time as this, there's a polarization of frequencies having. Choose ye this day whom you will serve, love or fear. Everybody gets to choose. There's no force and source for there to be love. There must be a choice. And here we are, many of us, and I include myself because I'm preaching to myself. I am you, you is me, we is we. One family. Eternal Christic consciousness sets us free. Activate, galactivate your 12-stranded DNA for the glory of original eternal source consciousness name, that the glory and character of source will once again cover the earth. As the water covers the seas, the truth will set us free. So I used to have this pattern where if my inner child was triggered or, whatever, where I would be a bitch. Spiritual bypass. Don't look at it. Appease it. Cover it. Bandage it. But the way through is in. What we reveal, we feel, we heal. And for such a time as this, Mother Earth is crying out her water. She's trying to come back into balance. She's been through a 26,000-year dark cycle where she was fracked. She was fucked. She was raped. And she held it all, as Divine Mother does. And she's out of balance. Hurricanes. There will be hurricanes. There will be more rebalancing of her water, her blood, her bones, tectonic plates, earthquakes. And as this shift happens, she's crying out. Hear her heartbeat. Every beat is speaking. Schumann resonance increasing. For her children, her sons, the true sons and daughters of the Most High Living Creator Source, is what we are to be born. But there is no birth without a process of birth. Mother Earth, she given birth, new earth. But first, she's gonna purge. And here we are. Mother Earth is going through this, such an important inflection point, exciting time to be alive. This is the lifetime we've waited for. Love wins, higher oscillation and trains lower frequency. But a lot of us are so, still caught up in this cycle of being a bitch, avoiding. Like, literally, this is like the most epic love story ever written. And we're like afraid of what? Our parents? Penis? Vagina? Sexual trauma? Which I have compassion for. But in the cave we fear is the treasure we seek. We can go into it. Stay conscious. Don't be a bitch. Look at it. Clear it. Love it hard. Like a erect light boner. Love it hard. So I'm like picking up these codes. But it's like, it's such an epic time in humanity's history. And the title of this, how to ascend. And this is what I'm talking about. What this beautiful yoga teacher in my perception has done is she's literally looked at all the way up. Ascension is the same way we came down. So when one soul comes in, it splits itself through electromagnetic fission into 12 different bodies on different timelines. And in order to ascend through the power of connecting with your soul and the power of love, love is the cohesive power of the universe. It's the glue of the universe. You start gluing back these different substrands of DNA or personality types back to you. And you have to integrate that Shaniqua, that warrior king, that comedian, that part of us that we thought was labeled as trash, ghetto, because that we are all one. That martial artist in Japan who's stoic. And so as you start connecting with your soul, these substrands of personality types, 12, one, I am the vine, you are the branches, one becomes 12. You start to reintegrate through the power of love. And I want to reintegrate that word, power of love. But in order to do that, you got to look at it. You got to don't be a bitch, go into it, and then integrate it through the power of love into your being to ascend. And so the soul frequencies become embodied, all 12 aspects of yourself. It's almost like that Netflix series Sense8. If you haven't watched it, I thought it was a good watch, where there's like there's 8 spread upon different time spaces. But when you need that martial artist, when you need that Shaniqua, when you need that ghetto, when you need that church boy, when you need that, whatever it is that your soul decided, you've integrated it through the power of love. It's accepted. It's a part of the mission, into the mission, so much so through the power of love that it gets to play, it gets to speak, it gets to, like this yoga teacher, it gets to like literally transmit all aspects of herself for that one purpose. LOVE, to trigger the shit out of each other until there's no more triggers left. Because we are all one and have integrated every aspect and soul fractal of ourselves. And this is a science. It's what Freud called the superconscious mind. It's the 4th, 5th, and 6th stranded DNA according to quantum morphogenetic physics. It is your soul. Carbon crystalline less dense version of you. And once you start ascending into a higher frequency and you find that 0 point on the thymus gland, right behind the higher heart, point of divine neutrality, because love it's already perfect. 0 point. And when you find that 0 point and you go into deep meditation through sound healing or whatever it is, sometimes these aspects of yourself or, when you dream, will reach out to you. You can actually sense them as a part of you. And through the power of love and looking at it, don't suppress, repress. Authentic expression is the resurrection. You go directly into it. Stay conscious. And through the power of love, you heal that root trauma. 7 to 11 generations. You heal that past life. What we reveal, we feel. You have to feel it. It's just energy flowing in and out of the body. And through the power of this firm devotion to love and knowing that you are love, and this firm devotion to source that Jesus had and that spiritual masters, every single one of them has, I would rather die every day I die than break this vow to source. That sacred relationship. And you, through the power of love and willpower, you heal that root and it's integrated back into the whole. Not killing it, getting rid of it. Integrate it, consecrate it through the power of love. Love is powerful, and you are powerful, and we are love, and you are love, and I am love. And for such an important inflection point in humanity's history, Mother Earth is crying out for her true sons and daughters to be born through the power of love for the liberation of all sentient beings and fulfillment of the Emerald Covenant, which says that every soul is going to have an opportunity, a chance to choose. And so I want to encourage us. Don't be a bitch. Stay conscious. Look at it. Go into it. Utilize your tools. Be autonomous. Take your space when you need it, if you need it. Utilize your tools and to continuously ingrain and entrain into your psyche, into your body, this love, which we are, until every conditioning and programming that is not us, which we literally is, there's very deep AI programming that's happened for 26,000 years. A lot of this, I want to go too deep into it, but one by one, through the power of love and authenticity, we deprogram, decondition, and come into our authentic version of yourselves. And together we remember and we ascend together to a higher frequency, into a new earth, into our soul family, into full transcendence, which is not going somewhere out of body, but coming back and bringing those codes back into the body and being here now for such a beautiful, amazing inflection point in humanity's history. I call it the most epic love story ever written. The return of at least 1 billion souls back into the record books of Source to expand the knowledge of the One, God making love with God, sacred energy exchange. And if this is a movie, a hologram, if this is that scene in Avatar where they're going for the mother tree, 2030, Klaus and his homies planning World Economic Forum takeover. They're desperate. Love wins. They're pulling out all the AI implementation, holographic inserts, all that stupid shit. Well, but love wins, and we are love, and we get to choose. And I'm grateful to be here, and thank you for being born on Earth. And it's a privilege and it's an honor. I'm telling you right now, there's so many souls in line waiting to come to Earth for this beautiful, amazing love story. There's never been a greater time, I feel, in my perception, to be a human being. All of these ancient mantras that, are available now. The progress that a soul who is hungry for truth can make in one lifetime, in this lifetime, to burn the karma. Not only that, to literally obtain rapid self-realization, self-actualization, activate your 12-stranded DNA, to embody your soul over soul, to heal your family and trauma, karma. All of these tools are techniques are being just gifted to humanity right now. And so there's souls lining up. Like there's some fresh souls, because like so many mothers and fathers have done so much karmic clearing that there's some souls who have never even been born before on earth lining up right now. And the future is bright. There's never been a greater time to be alive in my perspective and my direct knowing. And it's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to continuously, muddle in this, I need to heal, I need to heal, I need to heal, like continuously go in circles on this karmic wheel? Or are we going to look at it? Stay conscious. Don't be a bitch. Go into it. In the cave we fear is the treasure we seek. Liberation of all sentient beings. We are free, we are free, we are free. I know who we are in truth. I know how we serve in truth. We are free, we are free, we are free. And we are co-creating what I call the most epic love story ever written. It's a great time to be alive. So I want to encourage each one of us to tune into that. Don't false evidence appearing real fear. Look at it. What's up, beautiful souls? I want to shout out to the sponsor of this podcast, Practical Peptides, www.practicalpeptides.com. Unless you're living under a rock, you might have heard that there is this thing called peptides, the magic of peptides. And so they're amino acid chain proteins, which help signal to the body, which can start activating like a light switch, different systems in your body. And we're having amazing results. Now, you may have heard there's positive and negatives to everything, but there's certain people who are having certain side effects. And what our team has found is it's because most doctors are prescribing too large of a dose. But when you dose and you titrate up at the right dose, we're finding that people are having really positive effects. So some of our best sellers include GLP-1 agonists like tirzepatide, like semaglutide, and people at the right dose, when they use the right small dose and they're titrating up, they're literally not only losing approximately 15% of their body weight over time, they're increasing their self-esteem. It's helping people reverse their diabetes, blood sugar. And the cool news is that you can schedule a call with Danielle, who's a peptide expert on our team, who can help decide if it's right for you, also what the right dose is. And the cool thing about Practical Peptides is our team has spent so much time and love and energy. So it's really easy. You just go to practicalpeptides.com, you search for the product that's right for you. One of my favorites is NAD, intramuscular NAD. If you guys don't know, NAD is reversing brain inflammation, helping the gut heal. And not only that, for me, it gives me clean energy every morning when I take it. So NAD is on there from a pure. And the cool thing about Practical Peptides is it's straight from the pharmacy. It's compound grade pharmacy, pure material. And you can order it directly online. And it's delivered straight to your house. And you're getting everything that you need. Is included in the package, so you can start using it straight out of the box. And we give you educational materials. So some of these peptide companies that are research based, you don't know what's in the product. They're not giving you the educational material. We're giving you you don't have to mix it and compound. It's right there. And so if that's something that appeals to you, check out www.practicalpeptides.com. Use the code Dr. Lee for 10% off. There's peptides that can help you get ripped and shredded. There's peptides that can help you repair your body from injury. So check it out, www.practicalpeptides.com. As we look at it and we go into it, we'll see that it's programming, conditioning. It's not real. Love is the only thing that is real, the cohesive power of the universe. And it's not about getting rid of the fear. It's not about killing the fear. Take it with you. There's this willpower, which comes from the soul, which looks at the fear, watches it pass by, in and out through the body, and still maintains this knowing and understanding, I am love. Nothing can change that, and nothing can separate me from that. So instead of suppressing, repressing, or contracting, we expand into it. Through the power of love. All right, beautiful, beautiful souls. And yeah, and if we don't integrate these sub aspects of ourselves, oftentimes they need a voice. So sometimes during dreams, if we're not giving them a voice and allowing them and integrating them in our daily life, they're going to come out in dreams. They need to be expressed. Authentic expression is the resurrection. So through the power of love, I encourage and exhort each one of us to every aspect of ourself, everything we've been through, our parents, our children, all 12 sub-personalities of ourselves, to really integrate, allow, give it a voice, look at it, go into it, integrate it through the power of intentional love. And then you'll connect with your superconscious mind. You can get a mission. Sometimes you can even we're at this stage where you can even get a mission upgrade. It's happened in the ceremonies I facilitate, the heart protocol ceremonies. DNA strands upgrades because of this great love of source and saying that I am here, I am love, and I want to serve. I want to, for the highest good of all. Show me what I need to see, tell me what I need to do. And we continuously ingrain that into our subconscious mind and being. And we show up for each other, for Mother Earth. And for those who feel the call, for me, the most kind of a formula that worked for me, right? Yes, I did all the plant medicines, and I did yoga teacher training, and I trained as a breathwork instructor, and studied Tibetan Buddhism, did a little bit of all of that, and they were helpful. I'm grateful. But when I found the heart protocol, for me, in the middle of a psychedelic revolution, the most direct connection to my soul. I'm talking about, not always, but if the person is ready to receive the healing, it happens. Safe, consistent, powerful, direct connection to your soul, oversoul, avatar, Cristo self, directly to source, and you can actually voice record it and bring back a multidimensional transcribe it. And if for those who choose and are ready, it can literally cause a timeline shift, eventually a destiny shift into not only your highest timeline, but the highest service contract for humanity. And so, it's been a helpful sacred sacrament for me, which has catalyzed me, reminded me who I am. And we have monthly retreats. And so if that calls you, can check out www.transcendencementalhealth.com and click begin your journey to see if you're a good fit, because not everybody is. You have to be ready for it. Also, I'm really excited. We started a community, Eternal Life Tribe, on School, and we put the 12-strand DNA course up there. Shout out to the team who's helping me with this. And when I found the 12-stranded DNA activation, 12 sacred songs in the original light language Anuhasi, which communicates with the potential intron DNA, scientists used to call junk. Yeah, I've tried all the different tools, right? Tried all the different plant medicines. But when I found this and I became consistent with it, and I started remembering the wisdom, the eternal life wisdom, the science of the 12-strand DNA, chelantic science, morphogenetic physics, and I arranged it, and I started chanting every single morning in this light language. I started remembering, and I started receiving upgrades from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way down to 1. The physical, emotional, mental ego started integrating. My emotional body started becoming more balanced. My physical body started healing. But not only that, from 12 all the way, I started activating my soul, oversoul, and avatar Cristo self in a natural, gradual way, not Kundalini pumping 1 through 9, dimensions 1 through 9 from the bottom to the top, but 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, down at least 12, not to mention those who have the potential for 24 or 48. And it's literally shifted my hologram, my movie, my timeline, my destiny into a timeline that I couldn't even imagine. And I want to share that with those people who feel called. So if that calls to you, in the link below, you can sign up for the Mental Wellness Club, Eternal Life Tribe. And I'm happy. We're going to do 2 live Q&As every month. And we're going to share, support, synergize with each other to help each other, support each other into our highest timelines and destiny for such a beautiful, amazing inflection point in humanity's history. praying avalanches of God's love, joy, abundance, meaningful relationships, money is pouring and circulating into every single one of our lives who may be listening. All of our goals, needs, and desires are now being met instantaneously by divine infinite intelligence. For we are one with God, and God is one with all. Happy Thanksgiving, family. Love, light, peace, and truth to all sentient beings.